What's good, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in this video, I'm actually very happy because guess what? Demodog himself commented on my last video, and he actually gave me some good advice on how to make a better APS gun. He said that 2-meter long shells, 200mm hollow point would be good against the Deepwater Guard, so you know, he's better at the game than I am, so I decided to use his advice to make this large. Well, not large. This cannon, I think it does like 60 rounds per minute on each gun, which isn't too bad. It's got 4 barrels in total, and yeah, I tested it against some Deepwater Guard ships, and it does actually, it is very good. So thanks to Demodog for telling me that. But yeah, I mean, I actually designed a turret cap before I designed the ship, which, I mean, I think it works out pretty well in the end. Also, this is part 1 of 2, mainly because this took me quite a long while to build. Yeah, it just took me quite a long while to build. And I'm trying to do daily videos, because a couple of my friends did that, and they got major sub gains. Like, one of my friends got to like 100 subs after like a month of doing daily videos. And if I were to make this all in one video, then there probably wouldn't be a video tomorrow, because I don't have unlimited time to play from the depths. Which is why it's split up into 2 parts. So lucky you. But yeah, I'm actually quite happy with how this gun turned out. Obviously, the shells, I didn't do them myself. I just pretty much, they're pretty much literally just hollow point and then a couple just normal solid warhead bodies, and they actually work really well. But yeah, I ended up adding some detection equipment on it because my previous ships had trouble with the detection, as they would have the main superstructure broken and then they couldn't see anything. So I'm trying to not do that anymore. But yeah, as you can see on a turret cap, I left a little gap in the back because you'll see later why, but pretty much I just added a anti-air gun that fit in there nicely. But yeah, you can see here against the Prowler it does some decent damage and it has a decent rate of fire. The turret cap isn't the greatest because I'm not that great at stuff like that. But yeah, I shortly moved on to the actual build. I definitely made it a bit too big because a lot of that front bit is just, and ends up being just mostly empty space. Because I added some missiles, but I didn't want to add too much because I didn't want this thing to be too expensive, because in the end it is still meant for fighting Deepwater Guard craft. And right now it's about, at least at the end of this video, it's about halfway done. Well, I say halfway done. The only thing left to do is like the back propulsion and the superstructure, and it already cost I think 170k. So I don't know. I think that's kind of overpriced for what it is, because it is just, it's 2 of these main guns, an anti-air turret, and 10 medium missiles so far. and it's already at 170k, which is probably because I added too much, like storage. Because I think even in just this front area, which is mostly empty, it can already store, I think, about 200k materials just in there. Which, yeah, it's redundant, but I ended up putting a big engine on it and using some, I can't remember what they're called, sensor scramblers, yeah, which I put them on like quite a bit of engine power. But again, I just spammed batteries and electric engines everywhere, which wasn't the greatest move. But yeah, I also messed up here by using single layer deck. But at that point, it was probably too late to change because I've already made the whole thing too tall to have a 2 meter deck. As you can see, I think there was 5 of those resource containers, which is probably way too much, but I added more. Obviously, had to add the camo, so no one can see me and no one will ever hit me. Also, if any of you watching this want my other 2 craft and this craft to go on the Steam Workshop, then just comment below and I can put it on there. I mean, they're not the best craft, but if you want to check them out, then go ahead. But yeah, these missiles are pretty standard. I'm pretty sure they're just a copy of the ones I used on my previous craft, but 1 block taller. Yeah, I tried to armour them up with alloy, which I don't know if that was the best idea. I don't think it will help that much because if the hatch gets destroyed, the missiles are done for anyway. But yeah, I did that. Yeah, then in here I went and did some applique panels with my Fleek colours of blue. No particular reason other than my old designs, and by old I mean like 5 months ago, are all painted with like colours, so I just wanted to have some of that on there. Then yeah, I made this AI bit, which probably too much, what they called processor cards, probably too much of them. Also probably too much armour. I don't think I need that much against the Borsa Guard craft. But anyway, I armoured up the turrets a bit, which I don't know if that really makes a difference, because if they hit the body, the turret doesn't get damaged anyway. At least it didn't last time I tried. Does that make sense? I don't know. Then of course, I messed around with mimics for a bit because I just love doing that. Although I do probably do too much of this mimic stuff. Which, I mean, I just don't like it when it has those square edges. I know for a lot of people it doesn't really make a difference, but I like my ships to at least look kind of nice and not to just be completely functional. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just building for like Metacraft, but I'm not very good at building Metacraft, so I concentrate a bit more on making it look nice. And yeah, obviously I had to mess around with the turret because the radar gimbal tracker didn't connect to passive radar, which I didn't know. I thought that it did connect on the top. And then, yeah, I messed around with some simple weapons because I love simple weapons. They're just cool. Mainly because they're like decent. You can use them with APS shells and they literally take no effort to build. You just place them down. And they're not even that expensive because those ones only cost 2k, I think. But yeah, then again, I built the hull, which I again used the weird half slopes as armor, which I probably should stop doing that, but because I don't even know if it works anymore. But I just remember that working for me when I last played the campaign a couple months ago. I don't know, they might have changed some things. But yeah, then I did some engines and some batteries, which probably is way too much, and then massive RTGs, which definitely is way too much. But I guess it's better to have too much power than not enough power. So yeah, that's my reasoning. Oh yeah, and then I started building an anti-air turret, which I didn't build on the testing platform at first because I don't know, I just didn't feel like it. But yeah, it ended up being actually quite decent. I think it does like 400 rounds per minute, which isn't great, but I'm pretty sure that for the size of it, it's not that bad. I think it uses just 88mm. I think hollow point shells as well, the same ones that I used on the simple weapons. There's no particular reason I used hollow points other than just not being asked to build more ammo controllers. Yeah, then I'm pretty sure I made it have 6 barrels, which, like a minigun style thing, which is very unimaginative. I mean, that's literally like what most rapid fire guns look like. And yeah, I had to do this mess of cooling barrels at the top because my cooling only allowed for like an RPM of 200, but the autoloaders could do like 400. Yeah, then I messed up with the turret cap because I accidentally built it onto the main boat instead of the actual turret, which I'll fix that later, but still, that was a major mess up. And yeah, I added some ammo storage with resource storage inside it. I don't know why I keep doing that. I'm just still scared that the whole, like a massive thing of ammo, will just blow up. But yeah, then I just started like building some walls for the superstructure, and then again had to do some mess around with mimics because it would just be too easy to just place a railing when you can do a mimicked railing. And it would be too easy to just place metal plates on the ground when you can mimic metal plates onto the ground. That's always fun. And yeah, I did one of those weird thin wall things, which I've seen on other people's builds and real life boats before. I've no clue what they're meant to be, but looks kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, as you can see, that's the turret cup I did. You'll see in the next episode that it's changed a bit because that one was built onto the hull. which was not ideal because the turret couldn't move. But yeah, then I messed around with... No, I didn't mess around with railings, that's later. I armoured up the turret, which in the end was probably a bit of a waste of resources because there's already armour. There's like 2 layer thick armour on the hull and then 1 layer thick armour on the actual turret, so that 3rd layer of armour was probably really not necessary. But yeah, then I just messed around with portholes, but in the end most of these portholes aren't even here because I built that whole thing way too big. Oh yeah, and then I added more resource storage, which at this point it has 600k resource storage, which it just doesn't need. But again, I'd rather have too much than not enough, because I've had instances playing a campaign where I just run out of resources because my ships didn't have enough storage. I plan on using all of these ships in a campaign that, if you want, I can do a campaign series if you guys want. But yeah, anyway, with that, we are coming up to the end of the video. I just placed in another one of these big turrets, armoured it up a bit, and yeah, I added a separate AI compartment, which is literally the first time I've ever done this, but it's just for controlling the anti-air weapons, because the anti-air weapon will be pretty useless against actual weapons because it's an 88mm shell. But yeah, with that, bye.